Hi guys, welcome to Surds Short Trick Solve GCSE exam questions video part 2. We have seen already part 1. Now let's continue with the part 2 video. So here's the question. Here we are going to do rationalize. So what does rationalize means? Rationalize means just in a simple language, in a layman's language, we can say get rid of a square root sign from denominator. So like here it is 5 root 7. Okay, so how we can get rid of 5 a square root sign from here, that we need to think. So any idea what we can do? uh, uh, any idea? Yes, definitely we can do it because it is root 7. If we times by root 7 here and times by root 7 here, question comes why? Because root 7 times root 7 becomes 7, and then we don't have any square root sign here. And 5 times root 7 is 5 root 7, because a times root b, you can write down a root b. So 5 times root 7, you can write down 5 root 7. Okay, similarly, what we can do here, it is 3 over root 5. So let's multiply by root 5 here in the numerator and denominator. Yeah, so numerator and denominator, if we multiply, so what happens? So 3 times root 5, that is 3 root 5, and root 5 is, yes, because root a times root a becomes a. So root 5 times root 5 becomes 5. So that's the thing. So you see there is no square root sign here, no square root sign here. Now let's go for the another one. It is 3 root 2. So we need to times by root 2 here in numerator, times by root 2 in denominator. So 3 times root 2, if you multiply, so it will be 3 root 2, and root 2 times root 2 becomes 2, yeah, by this rule. Now 7 root 3, so by which number will multiply? Yes, any idea? Yes, you are guessing right. So it will be root 3 and it will be root 3. So 7 times root 3 and root 3 times root 3 is 3. So it is this is the way you can do it. So pause the video, and if you can solve these questions, if it is 5 over root 2, this is question number 1, and question number 1 and question number 2. So 6 over root 3. So how we are going to rationalize? Pause the video and have a go, and we'll see what we can do about it. Yeah. Welcome back. If you have tried, just check your answer. So times by root 2 here and times by root 2 here. So 5 times root 2 is 5 root 2, and root 2 times root 2 is 2. Similarly here, we'll multiply by root 3 here, root 3 here. So it will be 6 root 3, and root 3 times root 3 is 3. And you can again simplify here, because 6 and 3, they comes in 3 time table. So 3 times 1 and 3 times 2. So we have got our answer 2 root 3. Okay, good. All right. So let's go for next question. Here here if you see, there are two terms, so how we can rationalize? So here rule is very easy. What you need to do first, you put it in a bracket and listen my statement carefully. Whatever is sign is here, you change the sign of denominator, okay, and multiply in numerator. So it was plus, so it is plus here. Change it with minus sign and times here and times here. So I repeat, change the sign of denominator and multiply in numerator here and multiply in denominator here. Okay, so let's multiply. So if you multiply 2 times root 3, so let's leave it because it is already in simplified form, numerator. And when you multiply this, root 3 times root 3, that is 3, root 3 times minus 1. So root 3 times minus 1, that is minus root 3. Now plus 1 times root 3 is plus root 3, and plus 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. So plus root 3 and minus root 3 you can cancel it out. Okay, so we are left, that is 2 root 3 minus 1 in numerator, and 3 take away 1. So this is 3 take away 1. 3 take away 1 is 2. So 2 and 2 is cancelled. So our answer is root 3 minus 1. Similarly, if here it is root 2 minus 1, so whatever I said, change the sign of denominator. So here it is minus. So change it with plus, put it in a bracket. You must put these terms in a bracket here. Okay. Now, if you multiply here in the denominator, top numerator, you no need to multiply. It is already simplified form. So you can write down 3 root 2 plus 1 in a bracket. Okay. Now, root 2 minus 1 and root 2 plus 1. If you multiply root 2 times root 2, that has become 2. And if you multiply root 2 times 1, that is root 2, minus 1 times root 2, that is minus root 2, and minus 1 times 1, that is minus 1. So we have got 3 root 2 plus 1, and this is cancelled out. 2 minus 1 is 1. Similarly here, so what we are going to do, just change the sign of denominator, okay, and multiply in numerator and denominator both and put it in a bracket. So top bit remains same, 5 root 3 plus root 2, and once we simplify this, root 3 times root 3 is 3, root 3 times root 2 becomes 6, and minus root 2 times root 3 becomes minus root 6, minus root 2 and root 2 becomes 2. So this is cancelled out. So our answer is 5 root 3 plus root 2, and 3 take away 2 is 1. Similarly here, just put it in a bracket and change the sign of denominator. So it will be root 3 plus 1, and it will be root 3 plus 1. Okay, so if you multiply top bit, root 3 times root 3, so it will be root 3 times root 3 is 3. Okay, and root 3 times 1 is root 3, then plus 1 times root 3 is root 3, and plus 1. Now, here you multiply root 3 times root 3 is 3, root 3 times 1 is root 3, minus 1 times root 3 is minus root 3, and that is minus 1. So this is cancelled out. So what happens? This plus 1 and this plus 3 becomes 4. This root 3 and this root 3 becomes 2 root 3. Like 1x becomes 2x. So 1 root 3 becomes 2 root 3, and 3 minus 1 becomes 2. Okay. So here and here you can take 2 outside common. So it is 2 plus root 3 over 2, and this is cancelled out. So your answer is 2 plus root 3. Let's see few more exam questions. Here it is 1 over 1 plus root 2. Okay, so how we can simplify? Let's simplify like this: 1 over 1 plus 1 over root 2. 1 over root 2. There was nothing, so I assumed 1. So this we can write down 1 over. Now we can do cross multiply here. So we multiply this into this. Root 2 times 1 is root 2. Then 1 times 1 is 1. And this bottom number, that is root 2. So what happens? Once it is coming up, then it will be flip. So this you can write down root 2 over root 2 plus 1. It has become our previous question. So change the sign of denominator, multiply in numerator, and multiply in denominator. So once you multiply, so root 2 times root 2, that is 2, and root 2 times minus 1, that is minus root 2. Let's multiply here. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. Root 2 times minus 1 is minus root 2. Plus 1 times root 2 is plus root 2. And plus 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. Yeah. So this is cancelled, and we have got 2 minus root 2. And this 2 take away 1, that is 1. So our answer is 2 minus root 2. Yeah, nice and easy. Similarly, we can go for another question. Here it is, you need to write down in this form. So 1 plus root 3 square, yeah, you can write down 1 plus root 3 and 1 plus root 3. Question comes why? Because x square you can write down x times x. So 1 plus root 3 square you can write down 1 plus root 3 times 1 plus root 3. Yeah. Now multiply this 1 times 1, that is 1. 1 times root 3, that is root 3. Uh, root 3 times 1, that is root 3. And root 3 times root 3, that is 3. So if you simplify this one and this 3 becomes 4, root 3 and root 3 becomes 2 root 3. So 4 plus 2 root 3. So if you compare this with a plus b root 3, so let's write down here a plus b root 3. So a we got 4 and b we got 2 and root 3 will be cancelled out, and you can do it like this as well, like b root 3 is equal to 2 root 3. So root 3 cancel, so b we got 2. So either way you can do it. And last question, you need to simplify root 80 and root 180. So I have done already prime factors. So root 80, in my first video you have seen we do pairing. So for this pair you can write down 1 2, we are doing this one. Okay, for this pair you can write down another 2, and this 5 is crying, this is unpaired, so let's write down with root 5. Okay, similarly here for this pair you can write down 1 2, for this pair you can write down 1 3. Okay, and this 5 is again crying unpaired, so let's write down root 5 here. So it will be 4 root 5 and it will be 6 root 5. 4 root 5 plus 6 root 5 is 10 root 5. Why? Because if you add 4x plus 6x, that is 10x. If you add 4 Pepsi plus 6 Pepsi, it will be 10 Pepsi. So similarly, if it is 4 root 5 and 6 root 5, it will be 10 root 5. So if you compare it with p root 5 from here, if you compare it from here, so it will be p root 5. So if you compare, so we got p is equal to 10. Yeah, that's it. I hope you have liked the video, and for more exam question you watch my another video. Till then, goodbye. Thanks for watching.